My God, I hate drugs.
National Police Chief Oscar Albayalde says that Vincula wants to stay with the police longer, citing supposed security threats. Our George Cahiles has more details.
Authorities say Peter Jomel at Vincula can no longer stay in Camp Crame once the court issues a release order. PNP Chief General Oscar Albayalde says Vincula verbally requested to remain under police custody even after posting bail for security reasons.
No, wala po kaming policy na gano'n na pwede namin kupkupin yung isang tao dito sa loob ng kamo. Wala pa kaming yun. And wala rin kaming policy that he can stay here.
If Vincula will formalize his request, the PNP chief says the supposed threat will be assessed.
There should be a threat assessment that should be done by the intelligence officer na kung saan siya nakatira. In this case, sa Bicol region, and then it will be validated again by the Directorate for Intelligence. No? At of course, they will be the one magbibigay na recommendation for my approval kung bibigyan siya ng protection or not.
Vincula claims he's Bikoy, the hooded man in the video series Ang Totoong Narcolist that implicated family members and trusted men of President Duterte in the illegal drug trade. He has a standing warrant of arrest for 3 counts of estafa. He surrendered to authorities Wednesday night and was turned over to the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Thursday morning for proper documentation. He said everything in the video were all lies, and the video series is part of a bigger plan to oust President Duterte, citing Senator Sonny Trillanes and the Liberal Party as key players in the ouster plot. Trillanes on Thursday says he's planning to charge Vincula for his claims.
Wala namang problema yun. Maganda niyan, magharap kaming dalawa. Pag nagharap kaming dalawa, doon makikita kung sino talaga ang nagsisinungaling. Kasi doon makikita yung eye-to-eye contact yung bagong magkakilala at saka yung matagal na.
Albayalde says Vincula was rushed to the PNP General Hospital Friday morning after his blood pressure went up and complained of dizziness.
Ang nag-shoot up yung BP niya na 130/90. At parang sinabi niya, nahihilo daw siya. So, pina-hospital muna namin siya. So, probably kailangan niya magpahinga.
Once released, Vincula may opt to give a statement to the police on his revelations, provided that he is assisted by a lawyer. Meanwhile, Albayalde welcomed Senator Panfilo Lacson's comment that he was ill-advised for allowing Vincula to speak before the media in Camp Crame on Thursday. But he stands by his decision. Senator-elect and former PNP Chief Ronald Dela Rosa even supports his move.
If ako pa rin ang Chief PNP during that time, I will do the same yung ginawa ni General Albayalde. Dahil, alam mo, ang PNP is damn if you do, damn if you don't. Kapag pinigilan ng PNP yun, hindi pinasalita doon sa press con, sabihin naman ng media na may tinatago ang PNP, hindi inayaan si Bikoy na magsalita. Ngayon nga pinagsasalita naman, sabihin na naman ng media na si Bikoy ginagamit ng PNP as a propaganda instrument sa administration.
When asked if it may be necessary to call for a Senate probe on Vincula's revelations, Dela Rosa says he will wait if the issue will snowball and if there will be a public clamor for the truth.
Politics is not about perks and entitlement. Vice President Leni Robredo gave this reminder to academics in a speech yesterday morning. She says those in government should focus on empowering the people, not in fostering patronage. She also highlights the role of young political leaders in making meaningful change.
When we allow new and young political leaders to challenge old systems and infuse it with their brand of good governance, we become partners for real, heartfelt change. You see, politics is never about gaining perks or receiving special treatment. It is about working with those on the ground to find the best solutions.
The recent elections saw a shift in leadership in key cities, with a new generation of leaders toppling traditional political families. Meantime, Senator-elect Ronald Bato de la Rosa says President Duterte won't be interfering with his work in the Senate. In an interview on The Source, the former police chief, known to have close ties with President Duterte, says the president advised him to focus on serving the public.
Sabi niya, Bato, you are not a senator of Duterte. You are now a senator of the Filipino people of the Republic of the Philippines. So, dapat ang iniisip mo palagi is kapakanan ng karamihan ng Pilipino who believe in you. You got 19 million plus votes from the Filipinos. So, silang serbisyuhan mo, hindi ako. Hindi kita pakikialaman dyan sa trabaho mo.
Dela Rosa says he may not need seminars on lawmaking after all, as he spends his free time reading on the rules of the Senate. He earlier told CNN Philippines that he wants to take seminars so he can learn about crafting laws. That earned various reactions from netizens, including criticism that he appears to be clueless about legislative work.
Nagmasteral naman ako, nag-PhD naman ako, lahat ng marami akong dinalang subject, mga courses about policy making, policy analysis, lahat, policy formulation. Alam ko na yun. Ang akin lang concern is yung rules and yung procedures sa loob ng Senado.
Opo.
Yan ang gusto ko malaman. At ito ngayon nasasagot dito sa libro na binigay sa akin, yung libro, Rules of the Senate. Nandun lahat ng kailangan na gusto ko palang malaman. And nung inopen ko, mayroon pang nakasulat ng dedication eh. Hindi ko lang sabi kung sinong tao ito. It was dated August 2016. So ibig sabihin, itong tao na ito, na isang empleyado ng Senate, mayroon na siyang premonition na magiging senador ako.
Peter Jomel Advincula alias Bikoy has received clearance from his doctors and is waiting in Camp Crame for his release order. He has already posted bail for all his cases. Advincula was rushed to the hospital yesterday after his blood pressure shot up. Let's get more details from our correspondent Chrissy Di Matulak on the ground. Chrissy, what's the latest?
Advincula has been discharged from the PNP General Hospital after experiencing hypertension yesterday. He left the hospital at around 8:20 this morning and went straight to the CIDG headquarters, also in Camp Crame, to finalize documents prior to his release from police custody. Yesterday, Advincula posted bail of 6,000 pesos for his estafa case. And last Thursday, he posted 18,000 pesos bail for his illegal recruitment case. CIDG Metro Manila Chief Police Lieutenant Colonel Arnold Thomas Ibay says Advincula will be released to his family, adding that there is no standing warrant of arrest against him. Advincula earlier claimed he was offered 500,000 pesos by Senator Antonio Trillanes IV and members of the Liberal Party to appear in a series of videos that linked the Dutertes to illegal drugs. Trillanes, the Liberal Party, and other opposition personalities have since rejected Advincula's claims.
Chrissy, who is with Advincula now, and did you see any of his relatives there?
Yes, Advincula is currently in the custody of the PNP, CIDG, and CR group. Well, according to authorities, during his stay in the hospital, he was with his brother. And earlier here, we saw his brother arrive in PNP CIDG to personally see the release of Advincula alias Bikoy.
Chrissy, would you know who will provide him with legal assistance?
Well, according to Police Lieutenant Colonel Ibay, the first priority of Advincula and his family is to get a lawyer for protection, of course, in connection to the claims of the Liberal Party and of all those people who are against him.
Election officials are taking their time to tackle the case of former National Youth Commission Chair Ronald Cardema. That as Cardema faces more complaints opposing his petition to represent a party-list youth group. Trisha Tarada has the latest.
The Commission on Elections clarified former National Youth Commissioner Ronald Cardema's petition to be a Duterte Youth Party List nominee is still up in the air. After the proclamation of party list winners, COMELEC Chairman Sharif Abbas said Cardema's petition was filed on time. But COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez clarifies what's clear for now is that the party list has been proclaimed, but its representation is unresolved because Cardema is facing at least 10 cases opposing his plea.
Hindi pa rin napagdidesisyonan dahil meron pang mga opposition na na-file laban sa kanyang petisyon. So kailangan i-address muna yung mga opposition na yon. Apparently, marami ang nakapag-file ng opposition.
Abbas has earlier said that questions on Cardema's eligibility may be addressed by the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal or through a co-warranto. But insofar as submission is concerned, Jimenez says it may still fall under COMELEC's jurisdiction. Cardema is substituting for his wife as first nominee.
Well, that's another issue that has to be considered. But in this particular instance, we still have the ball, basically. Kasi ang pinagtatanulan dito is whether or not a substitution has been validly achieved.
COMELEC cannot say yet as to how soon Cardema's case will be resolved, as there will still be hearings on cases against this substitution. In the meantime, COMELEC reminds candidates to file their statements of contributions and expenditures, or SOSE. This applies even to those who funded their own campaign, did not spend for their campaign, and did not push through with their election bid. The deadline for the submission of SOSE is on June 13. Winning candidates cannot assume office until they file their SOSE.
After months of surveillance, authorities seized over ₱1 billion worth of shabu at a warehouse in Malabon. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency says this is part of drug operations by a syndicate whose members were arrested in a raid back in February. PIDEA Director General Aaron Aquino says the shipment was hidden in specially constructed aluminum pallets.
Nakita namin ito, bakit ganito itsura ng paleta? Very unusual. Ang paleta, kung makikita nyo, kahoy eh. Kahoy, hindi ito eh. Bakit ganito ang pagkakagawa? So we tried to bore holes doon sa pallet. And indeed, we found out na may laman drugs sa loob.
Aquino adds the haul came from Cambodia and was part of earlier drug shipments made by the Golden Triangle Syndicate. He says the catch is connected to other big-time drug busts, like the Tanza drug operation last February, which resulted in the death of 2 Chinese nationals, and the one in Ayala, Alabang, where ₱1.13 billion worth of shabu were seized. President Rodrigo Duterte's campaign promise to end labor-only contracting might face a roadblock in the bicameral conference next week. This as economic managers and employers groups urge lawmakers to water down some provisions of the End-Endo bill. Our Jeline Fule has more.
The passage of the End-Endo bill on third and final reading in Senate may be good news for contractual employees. But labor groups fear the bill might be watered down during the bicameral conference. They say economic managers might intervene.
Mayroong isang undersecretary ng Department of Foreign ng Finance na nagsasabi na hindi maganda ito sa ating ekonomiya. Napalagay namin ay walang basihan.
In a letter sent to Senator Joel Villanueva, principal author and sponsor of the bill, Finance Undersecretary Gil Beltran expressed their opposition to the measure. Beltran said that while the DOF recognizes the noble intent of the proposal, the passage of the End-Endo bill will introduce inflexibility in the labor market. The Employers Confederation of the Philippines shares a similar sentiment with the Finance Department. ECO President Sergio Ortiz Luis says they are not really against security of tenure. However, they want some provisions under the bill taken down.
One, yung yung too stiff requirements for service provider and limiting the area where service outsourcing can be done. Management should have the prerogative to source out what they don't want to do themselves.
The bill, he added, will tend to reduce and restrict opportunities for employment. With the position of the employer sector and economic managers, the Trade Union Congress of the Philippines reminds the public not to be complacent, adding that the provision under the End-Endo bill must remain preserved. Meanwhile, Nagkaisa urges Congress to act fast in passing the bill into law. Senator Villanueva says the bill will give employees security of tenure and will prohibit labor-only contracting, among others. The End-Endo bill, which was earlier certified as urgent by the president, is waiting to be heard at the bicameral conference, which might happen anytime next week.
The MTRCB will be hearing the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency's request to ban rapper Shanty-Dope's song Amats from the airwaves. The PIDEA had urged to stop the song's distribution, saying it promotes the use of marijuana. The MTRCB says it will call parties affected by the issue to hear their positions. It also says there should be a balance between freedom of expression and the right of every child to protection against improper influences. The group Concerned Artists of the Philippines calls PIDEA's move ridiculous, saying the request is tantamount to censorship. It adds the PIDEA should just leave a cultural commentary to musicians and instead focus on jailing drug lords.